Welcome to another edition of Discover Tinley, where we highlight the people and organizations of Tinley Park that make our town a great place in which to live. And as we all know, Tinley Park is a pretty great place in which to live. My name's Ron Centanni. I'll be your host for the program today, and along with our Community Resources Commission volunteers and our other high school, adult, all kinds of volunteers help out to put this program for you every month. So we thank everybody for coming out. Hopefully you had a good holiday season. I can't believe it's January already. This is not very nice. It's going too fast. But hopefully you'll have a good year. Happy New Year to all of you, and enjoy a good year. Tinley Park got a lot of good things coming up this year, so keep in tune of what's happening in town here. We've got a show today. It's going to be talking about some artists and a couple of different kinds of artists. One's a photo artist, and we've got a food artist. That'll be interesting to see. But our first guest has been a lifelong resident of Tinley Park, long-time resident of Tinley Park. Been around, I don't want to say a long time, but a long time. And he's known for his photographs. He's a very prominent photographer in the area, and we're going to see some of his works tonight and talk about his experience in Tinley Park. Bob Dietz, welcome to Discover Tinley.
Well, glad to be here, Ron, and thanks for inviting me.
Oh, why not? Why not? Now, how long have you been doing photography?
Since six years old.
Oh, my.
First little black and white box camera, Kodak box camera.
Serious?
Yeah, no flash, You
Oh,
had to get out there in the daytime, But basically it was my love for trains. My dad was a railroad engineer, and so the Rock Island was here in town. So
yeah. And we'll talk about it in a minute because you have some good experience on trains too, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Now, where'd you go to school in Tinley Park?
Well, let's see. I went to St. George for 8 years.
Okay.
And then walked to school, both St. George, and then walked to school, high school, Tinley Park High School.
High School, very good, very good. You've been around for, you've seen Tinley really
old as dirt,
change.
I guess,
You've seen a lot of changes in town, haven't you?
Yes.
What was the place to go in town for kids at that point in time?
Oh, geez, you had to go to Cavit's Drugstore.
Okay.
And they had the soda fountain and chocolate Cokes, cherry Cokes,
okay,
malts,
You all know what a soda fountain is? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you had the Dog and Suds later on.
Oh,
in the
that's
years
right. Dog
too.
and Suds was down there on North Oak Park Avenue. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
There you just drive. Well, that's, when you're 16, it's just like American Graffiti,
Okay,
the movie, if you're familiar with that,
Yeah.
Driving up and down Oak Park Avenue,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Oak Park Avenue's changed quite a bit, too, hasn't it? That used to be the
sure is.
main...
Well, it's 43A at one time, yes. It was,
okay.
Because Harlem's 43,
Okay.
and it curved over and went through town. But they straightened it all out when they, put Harlem all the way through.
Oh, yeah.
That was like 72.
What were some of the big stores on Oak Park Avenue? Some of the grocery stores were there, weren't they?
Yeah. You had the Jewel, you had the National.
Oh, yeah.
Frank's store.
Okay.
And then you had at the what they called the Volk store, or
Oh, yeah.
was the food store, Volk's food market.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Wisłowski, Gene Wisłowski was the butcher there, and
Okay.
his brother Frank had his own store.
Oh, my.
Right across from the pizza place.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I can't think of the name of it, but
Okay. Well, yeah, it's been a lot of good things going on in Tinley. So you see some changes going on in here. And you say you worked on the railroad. What was your position on the railroad?
well, I started out. I hired out as a conductor.
Oh, my.
Okay, spent 2 years on the ground, and then 3 years as an engineer.
Okay, an engineer.
And then I retired.
What kind of trains did you drive? Now, here we got an example of it. One of the trains that you actually drove, right?
Yeah, that was, I took that picture when I got to Western Avenue, our yard there.
Okay.
It was parked on Main 3, and
Okay.
I had orders to take it out to Savannah, Illinois,
Oh,
on the
my.
Mississippi.
And one little thing I want to add before you also worked in Tinley Park for a while, didn't you?
Oh, okay. Well, I worked for Bert Cummings at the Pinot Lounge. I worked
Okay.
for Al Jardine up there at the Jardines. I worked for
Okay.
Joe Motto at Motto's Foods.
But your big job was with the Jewel Company, right?
Well, after I graduated high school, I needed a job when I was first starting to school, so I got hired at the Jewel Food Store at 16948 Oak Park Avenue, which is now the Eggheads.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, Eggheads is the combo, which was Walgreens at the time, next to the Jewel. So.
No, I got a coughing spell right now.
Need some water?
And you managed the Jewel Shoe Store too in town, didn't you?
Yeah, I sure did. Yes. Yeah, I mean, they had me locking up as a part-timer, opening up the store in the morning.
Excuse me a second here.
Sure. Because they hired me, I already had experience in the business with mottos.
Oh yeah.
I know how to do everything, so they trusted me with the keys, and I opened them up.
Wow, so you managed the big Jewel.
Well, that was before the one that went on Harlem Avenue.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, 17117.
Okay. Now let's talk about your photography work there. You got
my favorite subject, except for trains.
Yeah. You've been and you've been noted for some of your. I don't know if you know, but some of the Christmas cards that Tinley Park used to send out.
Oh,
had Bob Dietz's photographs on them.
Right.
So they were prominent. Now let's talk about some of the other. What's some of your favorite shots to take? Where do you like going to take photographs?
Well, I just tonight I took pictures of the 80th Avenue train station.
Okay.
The sun's setting on the rails tonight.
Oh yeah.
So,
And you like lighthouses, right?
I
got a lighthouse picture up here. Where was that at? That's what, Michigan City?
That is St. Joe, Michigan.
St. Joe, Michigan. Okay.
Right, and that's on that pier underneath that wave is where I got married to my second wife.
Oh my!
That was the altar. You can't see it because of the big wave.
Oh my goodness! Holy cow! And we got a picture from out west behind you here.
Yeah, that was taken at Arches, and it's the fiery furnace section of Arches National Park.
And what state is? Where is that?
Moab, Utah.
Utah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, in Canyonlands. I mean, there's a lot to see in Utah.
Oh yeah.
One of my
and you've got some other landscapes over here too. What are some of those of?
Well, let's see. That one up there is British Columbia. That's Mount Robson, the highest mountain in British Columbia, and that's the Robson River that I got in the foreground.
Okay.
And let's see, down on the other side there, I have the Crystal Mill in Crystal, Colorado. It's very hard to access that lighthouse. You have to, not lighthouse, the mill. It's a 5-mile hike.
To get to there.
A rocky hike,
Oh
yes.
my goodness.
Or you have to have an all-terrain vehicle.
Oh my goodness.
So not very many people make it up there from Marble, Colorado.
Okay.
But I didn't hike it. I had a all-terrain, so.
Okay. But you've had some interesting experiences taking pictures, though, right?
Yes.
They're not all just standing there shooting a camera.
Well, yeah, charging Grizz.
Okay.
Hey, man, here he comes. He's coming at you.
A grizzly bear? You faced the bears?
Up in Lake Cameron, yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Alberta.
Jeez.
In the Waterton International Peace Park up there.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that was a frightening experience.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Life flashed before me.
I see, okay.
So I know what it's like now.
And we got let's talk about some old Tinley. We got some pictures of old Tinley here. Let's look at this one here of, what is that now? That building there.
Pinto Lounge.
Pinto Lounge, that's right. Right now, it's Holstein's, right?
Yes, they
that
converted
used to
over.
be the Pinto Lounge with the Tinley Park Water Tower back there.
Yeah, and that was taken, 91?
92, and to celebrate
the centennial.
The centennial. Okay.
I went around town, got all sorts of shots.
We got another one at Oak Park Avenue here.
The old water tower.
The old water tower that has been long gone in Tinley Park for a while.
Well, they got the tanks up on 167th Street, and they also have them on 183rd.
Oh,
The big round tanks.
Another shot of Oak Park Avenue.
Yeah, in the springtime, right across from what used to be the Clark gas station, which is no longer.
And talk about the pictures in front here.
The wagon train. Yes, that was the bicentennial wagon train. They were on their way. It was in May, and they were making their way to Washington, D.C. for the bicentennial, July 4th. And they were out at west of town, and they camped out. I went there the night before, and I got some pictures of that, and then I waited for him to come through Oak Park Avenue.
Oh my.
Yeah, so I started out where the VFW was, and I just walked down to Oak Park Avenue as they were turning the corner on 173rd.
Oh my.
And that picture there was taken right where the Voc Visual Arts Center is now, and the new wine bar that's going to go in across the street from there.
Okay. Yeah, that wagon was quite something to see in Tinley Park. I remember seeing that. That went across the country.
Yes, Washington, Oregon, they picked up.
And it didn't stop in too many places, but Tinley Park was on their route to stop.
That's right.
And it was quite an occasion to see there. We got some other pictures here of, you got a picture over some balloons.
Oh, yes.
Hot air balloons.
Well, I like to go hot air balloon photography. This was taken this past August down in Danville.
Okay.
And they had, about 40, 50 balloons down there.
Oh, my.
Yeah, you don't see them all in the picture, but I normally go to Lincoln, and they didn't have it this past year.
Okay.
And so all the balloons ended up going to Danville.
Oh, wow.
So that's why they had a lot more of that.
Now, what kind of equipment do you use to take your pictures with? What kind of camera do you have?
I have.
I should say you have more than one. That's right.
I got 4 camera bodies, and
okay.
And each body has a different lens on it.
Ah, wow.
Yeah, I got a 150 to 600 on one for super close-ups, and then I have a 18 to 300 on another body.
Oh my.
Then I have a super wide angle, 10 to 16 on another body. And then I got a 18 to 70 on the other one, and that's converted to infrared.
Oh my goodness.
So, you can just see me sloshing around with all these bodies clanging each other, You
take a lot of... How many pictures would you say you have in your inventory?
Again, it's very difficult to count them all, but I know I'm well over 1 million.
1 million?
Yes.
That's mind-boggling.
Right. Well, again, when you take, an average of an average, 150 to 200 a day.
Oh my goodness.
That's a moderate average, yes.
200 to 300 a day. Oh my.
Digital,
goodness. It's That's a nice thing.
And memory's so cheap nowadays. I got 5-6 gigabyte external hard drives that I store stuff on. So.
And you belong to a photo. I mean, a little disclaimer. Bob and I belong to one of the photo clubs he's in there. Give it a quick plug for the photo clubs that you belong to.
Forrester's Camera Club, past president, been with them, was this going on my 12th year. Mm-hmm. And we meet first and third Tuesdays of the month at Palos Heights Methodist Church, 12101 Harlem Avenue. Okay. At 7 o'clock. We have our competition meeting the first Tuesday of the month. The third Tuesday of the month, we have our education meetings, and different ones, presentations every month, and for all sorts of photographers, new, moderate, professional.
Yeah, and if anybody, I've learned quite a bit from belonging to that. So, well, thank you very much for displaying all your works here and your experience, and thank you for helping me out in some of these things there. But Bob Dietz, I'm going to say world famous photographer from Tinley Park. Thanks for coming to Discover Tinley.
Thank you, Ryan.
Well, our first guest, Bob Dietz, was great as a photography art in the art world, and second guest is another artist in a different way. We've got a tremendous art called the culinary arts, the food arts, and I think you all agree with me that's probably one of the better of the two. I know I'm into the food stuff a little bit there too, but we're very fortunate to have our guest, somebody, a Tinley Park resident who is a professor of culinary arts at Joliet Junior College and also a master chef. Certified master chef, which are very few in the world. We're glad to welcome Tim Bucci. Welcome to Discover Tinley.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Now, what's a certified master chef? That sounds pretty impressive. What did it take to get to that?
Well, I've been cooking for about 36 years.
Oh my.
So for me, that whole Master Chef is a culmination of everything I've done since I've started. I recently took a test back in March, and it was a 9-day exam. And you have to pass this exam. There's only about a 10% pass rate when chefs will take this exam.
Oh my.
So I am, for all time, I'm number 84, and currently number 68 in the United States as part of the American Culinary Federation.
So there's only 84 ever been named?
That's it. Yes.
Okay.
So there's
That's
4.
pretty select company.
Yeah, there's 4 in Illinois.
Okay.
And so it was a 9-day exam, anywhere from 16 to 18 hours a day. You're working either in the kitchen or you're working back at your hotel room in preparation for the next day, writing recipes, timelines, prep lists, organizing your equipment, and all, just to get ready just for the next day.
Wow.
And that happens nine days straight.
Now, when did this happen?
March
March
of 2019.
Okay. Wow. Now, so what does it mean to you, and what does it actually mean overall to be a certified master chef?
It took me a while to really to have it sink in.
Okay.
It really did. It's something that I started thinking about back in 2003. So I started kind of preparing for that slowly. Everything I did in the kitchen and at work was really kind of gearing myself towards the Master Chef exam, trying to be the best that I can be in not just one area, but multiple areas, including nutrition, classical French cuisine, buffet and catering, international, global cuisine, baking and pastry. So it really covers a wide spectrum of cuisines all across the world. So.
And you have to know how to do all that? How do you keep
pretty
it
much.
straight?
Yeah, pretty much.
My
it's a lot of
goodness.
practice.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's really how you can manage your time in the kitchen. And also, it goes over butchery skills and organization and cleanliness. And at the end of the day, it's putting food together that tastes great.
Wow.
And it's done well.
Wow. Now, how did this get started? Who and what sparked that interest in culinary arts for you?
My mom was from Sicily. So my mom, my aunt, my
And I
grandmother.
just might add, I'm a Sicilian too,
Yeah.
so good
That's
good
right.
vibes here.
So, I grew up in a Sicilian household where my mom did a lot of cooking. She's a great Sicilian cook. So when I was younger, I would help her in the kitchen, or I would help my grandmother in the kitchen. And, learning from, especially my grandmother and my mom, they rarely followed recipes.
Yeah, right.
Even like when my grandmother was making bread,
Right.
Rarely ever followed a recipe.
Handful of this, pinch of this.
Yeah, I would ask her, how much yeast are you putting in, and she would show me like this so much
Yeah.
on her finger,
Yeah.
which that had nothing. I didn't know what she was talking about. Right. She said 10 cups, and it wasn't even really a cup measure. It was just kind of a cup she used. So to learn how to cook or bake like that, that's really kind of cooking from the heart, and really make it a passion instead of following a recipe. There's nothing wrong with following a recipe, but when you really make it your own, cooking from the heart is what's going to produce the best food.
Oh yeah. How do you develop that? I mean, that's got to be a practice, or you're inborn. You got to be inborn with some of that stuff, right?
Yeah. You can, but it takes a lot of practice, a lot of failure. I'm going to put a lot of dishes together that don't come out well, and really, at the end of the day, you make something that doesn't taste good. The next day, it's a new day, and you try it again, and you learn, and you continue to learn from your mistakes.
Okay.
So, hopefully, as you get older and more experienced, you make less mistakes.
Right.
Not to say I don't make mistakes today. So,
I tell you, I wouldn't mind eating your mistakes. I think.
well, some of them you might not want to.
Okay. I think I wouldn't mind eating the mistakes even. Now, just how about your current position? You're over at you're the professor over there. What's your current position? What's your role over there?
Yep, one of the culinary arts professors at the college. I pretty much teach all culinary arts classes with other chefs. We have a total of 8 chefs in our department. I typically run a restaurant on the first floor called Thrive, and my class runs the restaurant. We open for Wednesday lunch from 11 to 12:45, and I have another class that runs the restaurant for Friday night dinners from 6 to 8.
And the public's invited.
It's open to the public.
Okay.
Yeah. Reservations for Friday are highly recommended. We'll do around 100 guests a night, which is enough for the students that are learning in the field. And we have a brick pizza oven, so we have delicious pizzas. All our pastas are either hand rolled or we have a pasta extruder. Everything is made from scratch. The bread. At lunchtime, we make homemade French fries or homemade ketchup, brioche buns. We try to teach the students as much of the basic skills of cooking as possible.
Wow.
And really follow just simple, really good cooking.
Wow. Now, how long a program is that for the student?
It's approximately 2 years.
2 years, okay.
Approximately 2 years for the associates. There's baking and pastry certificates. We also offer a culinary arts management degree, which a lot of the students will finish culinary arts and then go into a management degree program to get an associates in culinary arts management, which is great if students are looking to become managers or sous chefs or chefs down the road.
All right. What does somebody have to have in them to go into this? In other words, what advice would you give to somebody thinking about going into this career field? What kind of inner qualities should somebody have before they even think about going into culinary arts?
Well, you got to like food.
Okay.
Well, you gotta love it. You gotta love food. You have to respect the food you work with. One thing. One thing I try to teach to the students is no matter if it's a carrot, an expensive cut of meat, or fish, that it's all food that we need to respect. There's people that grow it, farm it, and we need to respect them as well because they're providing it for us. So one of the things I try to first thing is make them respect the food they work with and appreciate what they have to work with. Don't waste the food. Treat it correctly. It's really somebody who is interested in going into this field. The nice thing about this field is that it's always changing. There's always something to learn. There's always something to learn about this field. It's not easy. It can be.
That's what I've heard. It's not an easy career to get into or work on.
It can be demanding. It depends on which way you're going to take it. Yes, there can be long hours, but depending on which way you're going to go into the field, it doesn't always have to be that way. You can get a 40-hour-a-week job, or you can go work 60 hours a week. It's really up what you want to do. But there's different areas that you can go work in, whether it's baking and pastry. So maybe you're working in a bakery. Maybe you're working in a hotel or club or restaurant. But at the end of the day, it's just respecting the food you work with. One of the things that I try to teach my students is learning the basics extremely well. So before they get to that stardom stage, they want to be on TV and they want to produce some really nice food. The best food that I think there is something that's simple as like a braise, just done completely correct from the beginning all the way until the end. And that's, for me, that would be my best dish, is like a braised short rib or pot roast, but done correctly. When I was in Paris, my best dish I had was just braised short ribs over glazed carrots. And I ate at 2 Michelin star restaurants and ate at really nice restaurants, but that was the dish that stood out the most because it was done so well that it was to me, it was flawless.
Wow.
So that's, to me, what cooking is all about.
Wow.
Learning the basics, learning them very well, and mastering those. And that's what is really going to make you successful.
Wow.
Is that. Then you can kind of run with it and start to become more creative and do different things and things you see on TV or on different websites. But learn the basics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it sounds like you've done very well at that so far. I've got here a list. Maybe you might be a little shy about saying. I'm going to read some of the awards this gentleman has gotten here. Other than certified master chef, a member of the Culinary Team USA, the World Culinary Olympics. How many medals have you won? You've won some. What medals have you won in your team?
So in the Olympics, I competed as an individual in 2004 and 2008 and earned a silver medal and a gold medal. And in 2010 to 12, I was on the Culinary Olympic team.
Okay.
So there were 7 of us that competed in Luxembourg and in Germany. The Luxembourg was the Culinary World Cup. We earned 2 gold medals, and we took 3rd place in the world.
In the world?
In the world, out of 27 teams.
Wow.
So, and in 2012, we competed at the Culinary Olympics, and it happens every 4 years, just like regular Olympics. We earned 2 silver medals, and we took 7th place out of 36 teams in the world.
Okay.
Where, you know, a lot of people don't know about like the Culinary Olympics and the World Cup. It's kind of known more in the culinary field, but for us, it's just as equally as important as the Winter Olympics or Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
But this is in the culinary arts.
Wow.
So, and then I've competed in a lot of other competitions, part of the American Culinary Federation. Earned probably over 30 gold medals.
Oh my!
25 silver medals, and I still remember exactly how many bronze medals I won. So it's only 4, but those are the ones that stand out the most.
The bronze?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I always tell my students, like, your failures are going to stick with you. Not that a bronze medal is a failure.
Yeah.
But it's certainly you go in wanting to earn as a gold medal.
Of course.
But the failures are going to stick with you. So you always learn more from your failures than sometimes your successes.
Right.
And then you go from there.
Wow. And you grew up in this area too, didn't you?
I did. I grew up in Oak Forest.
Okay.
And then I've moved to Tinley about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Real quick,
Yeah.
your specialties or your favorite foods?
Oof. That's a tough question.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Italian.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
So I probably would say Italian because
Okay.
I grew up on it.
Okay.
I'm not saying it comes easier to me, but it does come fairly easier because I grew up with my mom and my aunt and my grandmother and grandfather. So
The one Italian food that's high on the list is?
I would have to say Brujol.
Brujol. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Something that's just really delicious.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's fantastic. I wish I had more time to spend with you
Yeah.
here and we could
No,
do it
thank you
sometime.
so
But thank you
much.
so much, and congratulations on the outstanding performance you've done in your classes and everything like that. And keep up the good work, and hopefully we get out there sometime and test your crew there.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay. Certified Master Chef Tim Bucci from Tinley Park. Thanks for watching Discover Tinley, and we'll see you next month.